So they've come after us realtors and they are reducing the commissions, but next is something different. The mortgage lenders and the landlords and other people are going to start suffering because the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, they protect you buyers and just us people, us citizens. What they're doing is they're going after junk fees. So let's talk about the mortgage lenders, then we'll get into a few other things. But the mortgage lenders have had, quote unquote, junk fees. And this is definitely something that I talk to almost every client about because they raise it. They say, hey, what about all these junk fees? What can we eliminate off of here, off of this settlement statement? And let me tell you this. Probably some things can be removed, but after the Great Recession, they passed the Dodd Frank Act plus a few other laws that basically prevents from you being sideswiped and end up in a ditch where didn't know what kind of fees you're incurring. And what they did is basically full disclosure. That's the law. Now, when a mortgage lender gets your application, they have to send you an LE, a loan estimate, which basically tells you how much is it that you're going to pay when you do this transaction. How much is an appraisal? How much is a survey? How much is everything, right? So they go in, and how much does the lender make too, right? That's an important one, because that's one of the fees that just keeps going up, it seems like. But let me tell you the other side. It keeps going up because they kind of are working off of a percentage. Not quite. They're working off of points, which is also a little different of a conversation. But when everything goes up and their salary doesn't go up, that's not really fair, is it? Because your salary probably went up in the last 5 years, and insurance agents' salaries went up over the last 5 years. As insurance goes up, they get a percentage of the deal, So when they're used to charge, let's just say a loan origination fee of $500, right now it's right around $1,600. That's what I'm seeing, and that is part of the bottom line for the company. But aside from that, how much is it that they're getting on the back end? Because points is basically paying up front, and that's how the mortgage company makes some money. But also you can get paid on the back end depending on the interest rate, which is why some companies have lower interest rates, right? So you pay points to bring down the interest rate is the explanation, and it is true. But also you can go to one company and go to another company and you'll get a totally different quote, okay? Because everyone works off of different margins. Now, it's not just that guy that you talk to, the lender. It's not just that guy. There's a whole layer of administrative staff, of management staff, and then there's the investments into the company. There's a lot of people who are just taking a few cents on every $10 of you borrowing money, right? So it does start adding up though, because $1,600 fees, they're nothing to balk at. So what is it that you can do? First of all, when you go and buy a house, you want to go and look at the entire description of the entire loan estimate and scrutinize every single line item and see what you can actually shop for. What can you shop? Because there are a few things that you can shop there. And next thing is, who is it that is charging these fees? So sometimes it has nothing to do with the lender. So, obviously you might want to go talk to that other person, okay? But aside from lenders who are making some money, right? You have to look at why is it that they're making more money? Why is it that the junk fees, quote unquote, went up and the closing costs went up? Average closing, this article is saying, is about $6,000 for a median price home. So when you look at that number, you have to ask yourself, who's getting that money? And it's not the lender, although in this article, they're attacking the lender. Really what's happening is everything goes up, like title insurance. Let's talk about that for a second. Title insurance, it's based on the purchase price, because the title insurance company is insuring it based on the purchase price and then the loan amount as well. So now you're saying, this article is saying that fees are going up and the CFPB wants to go do something about junk fees, but this isn't a junk fee. The title insurance costs are literally written into law what they are. The title company cannot offer higher priced title insurance than another one. They are guided by the same laws. So right now, if you're buying a house for $440,000, I can pop it into the calculator and tell you exactly how much every single title company is going to charge you. The only thing that changes is the closing fee of that company. It could be as low as $425, as high as $895. I've seen some companies charge a lot more than others, and they're doing the identical same job. But the CFPB is also going after a few other industries in this whole conversation, even though this article just goes all about, the mortgage lenders, but they're also going after the ticket salespeople. Okay, have you ever been in a situation you want to go see a movie and you're like, hey, we need to go buy tickets so we can just go because we'll be running late? Well, if you're not there at the theater buying your ticket, you're doing it online, you're going to pay a lot more for that ticket. We have Cine Bistro here. It's like really, really nice, kind of like recliner type of seats movie theater. I love Cine Bistro. And when you go online to buy a ticket, you're paying like an extra $10 a ticket. It is just so retarded. What the heck are they doing? And then if you go to, let's just say, a sporting event or a musical event, like a ballet or some, Irish dance thing. Actually, my fiance was trying to order tickets for some Irish dancing to go with her mom last night. And the fee per ticket, just to order it online, was $33. Now they were buying like a handful of tickets, so it was over $100 in fees. So they just decided to drive over there today and buy it, in person. But it's just not really fair the way they do it. I would say just lump it into the price of the ticket. Because I think part of this happens because the company that's contracted to do the online sales, they make an agreement of like, hey, we're going to charge X amount of dollars per ticket for the purchasing and our quote unquote technology. And look, it's all fine and dandy to have a technology, but it's not fine and dandy to rip off the consumers. And I think the CFPB has finally caught wind and starting to do something about it. I don't think they're going to get anything done anytime soon, quite frankly. There's too many people, too many industries affected by this, but eventually, maybe. And this is a Biden administration-led situation. So if Biden doesn't get reelected, I don't know, this might fall on the wayside. But it's not just that, right? It's not just the lenders. It's not just the ticket sales. What about landlords? And I am a landlord, okay? I know how landlords also do junk fees. I have seen crazy high application fees, which, $250 for an application fee, it costs $38 to do it online. Why are you just collecting that much more money from people, just because they want to find a place to live? It's not right. And then what about pet fees? Sometimes people have pet fees that are non-refundable. Well, it depends what kind of pet, because if you got a little gerbil, that's not fair. If you have a 60-pound dog, well, that's a different story, okay? And I do agree that some fees are, warranted, but I also have seen a lot of landlords do some bad things. And it's not really the mom and pops. It's usually the huge companies that what they do is they have like large apartment buildings, 200 units, 400 units, whatever it is. And they just make these rules that's really hard to circumvent. In fact, sometimes it's impossible to circumvent, where you're coming into this apartment complex, you're getting charged $250 per person for an application, only to be denied, and you don't get that money back. And sometimes that's a business model all by itself. So I do think that some things should be eliminated, and there should be laws against certain junk fees. Now, let me ask you this. What junk fees have you seen? Give me another industry or two where you have seen some junk fees, and I'm going to do some research, and then I'm going to check back with you guys and show you what exactly I have found and if there's anything warranted to that. So just make a comment about any kind of industry at all that has really ripped you off with junk fees. I would beg to say, that the cell phone industry is probably another one. They have activation fee this and transfer fee that. You move your phone from one company to another, your number, and it's just what's going on here, people.